with me Victor Cui, who is the Chief Executive of One Fighting Championships, which is a fascinating company. It's operating in the fast-growing, I believe it's the fastest-growing sport in the world, but the fast-growing sport area of mixed martial arts, MMA. Victor, could you tell us a little bit about the company, why you founded it, what it does, and a little bit about where it's at the moment?
Sure. Well, you'll have to make sure you've got at least 4 hours of recording on your camera because I love talking about that. Mixed martial arts, MMA, world's fastest growing sport, and it is at its infancy in Asia. It just presented a huge opportunity for its growth. So I launched One Fighting Championship about a year and a half ago. We are Asia's largest mixed martial arts organization, holding events right across Asia and selling out stadiums everywhere we go. We have the region's largest television broadcast deal, a 10-year television deal with ESPN Star Sports, and it puts our show in front of over 500 million viewers in 28 countries right across Asia.
Wow, that's pretty impressive, yeah. And that's from 1.5 years ago.
Yeah, that's
Goodness me. You have a background in this area, though, so how did you find the opportunity?
I've always worked in sports media. I've been doing it for over 15 years now and lived in Asia for the last 6.5, 7 years. And when I was looking at opportunities with my last company, with ESPN Star Sports, we were always developing new sport properties or finding out where the opportunities were, and looked at every sport from poker to badminton to ballroom dancing to taekwondo tournaments to darts and just everything. And in my entire career, I never saw an opportunity as big as there was in mixed martial arts, where the gap was so huge, where I was seeing a clear business model that was making billions of dollars around the world and very, very successful, yet that model wasn't in Asia. It would be like me talking to you saying, nobody in Asia has ever heard about football. Why don't we create some football properties here? That's how the gap was. But even more so, when you think of martial arts, the roots of martial arts is Asian. Every major martial arts has its history in Asia. From Taekwondo, Kung Fu, Silat, Muay Thai, those are all Asian-based, and Asia has been the home of martial arts for the last 5,000 years. So to interest people about a new sport that was in Asia, that was martial arts, was a very easy step to do.
Wow. Fascinating, absolutely fascinating. I would love to watch it someday. I think it looks very exciting. But it can't have been easy. I'm sure building this very successful business up didn't happen easily. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the challenges you faced?
Sure. I mean, with any startup organization, there are a lot of challenges, especially when you're growing as big and as fast as we are right across the region. I mean, we weren't holding an event that was just in one city. We were going to different countries, different venues, different suppliers, and every single month we're doing that. So it definitely poses a different kind of challenge. But I think one of the greatest challenges that we face as an organization is that the sport was at its infancy. So you need to not only grow the sport, but you're also educating people. You're educating the sponsors and partners and letting them understand where the passion is. But guaranteed, they come out to an event, they see it, and they've never been excited before.
And you were saying that you also have, part of that learning, your cameraman and your film crew have to also go through a learning curve as well.
Yeah, because it's a unique sport. It's a new sport, and it's not like filming this and telling the story from a production side and from a television side is different than you would shoot football or would you shoot cricket or F1. So there's a different skill set that's required for that, and you've got to train the team and about the nuances of the sport and the things that are different.
Fascinating. And I guess one last question. You're an experienced entrepreneur. It's clearly successful, and I think it's going to grow very fast by the look of it. If you were giving some advice to someone else starting up as an entrepreneur, what lessons have you learned? What would you pass on?
I'd say the biggest lesson that I've learned is a combination of two things. One is you need the very, very best people on your team. If you do not have superstars, if you do not have A-class people, if you do not have the very best at what they do, you don't even have a chance of being successful. Because the best people, when they're together, they thrive and they excite each other and they want to produce even more and be the best. that's the kind of environment that you need in a new organization. So first off, you need the best people. The second thing is you need to create the very, very best product that you can. World-class property. If you have the best people, they will create the best product, and if you have those two things together, your company will be successful. You can't have one without the other. And to create the best product means you've got to set a standard that is above everybody else. And that's difficult because not a lot of people are used to an environment where excellence is demanded of them. You know, if you've grown up in the corporate world and you know, a lot of the times in the corporate world you're rewarded for staying under the radar. You know, you need to be quiet and don't rock the boat. But when you're creating something new, you have to rock the boat. You have to think differently. You have to drive aggressively, and you have to be confident in what you're doing that way.
That's fascinating. And I think it also kind of connects the essence of what the business is about, which is martial arts and that tradition of excellence, but also I think a bit of courage as well.
That's true. That's a great point.
But Victor, thank you so much for your time. I hope if people can, they can look at your website and find out more and maybe even watch a game.
Sure.
Or fight, I think it's probably called.
Yeah,
But that would be great.
OneFC.com is our website, or follow me on Twitter, Victor OneFC.
Fantastic. Thanks again very much, Victor.
Thank you very much.
Brilliant. Gosh.